All right, I'm here with Todd Hutchings. Nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? How was the travel?
I feel good. Travel's uneventful. Traveling in the States is a lot easier for us. So
Did you end up driving or it took a
nope,
flight?
there's an airport 4 or 5 miles from the house.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
Super convenient.
Yeah, it worked
When
out well.
did you get in?
Yesterday, 6 o'clock or so.
Awesome. As far as Bogdan, when was he first on your radar as an opponent?
When Robert Baxter said, "Hey, would you pull Bogdan at East First West 24?"
So you hadn't seen any matches of
I saw him beat
previously?
Paul Lynn because I was I follow Paul Lynn. We're friends, so that's when I noticed that he'd beat Paul Lynn. So
Okay.
I was aware of him then. Neil Pickup speaks highly of him. I mean, after I didn't know this at the time, but later
So-
Neil Pickup speaks very highly.
After the match got confirmed, did you analyze any of his matches?
Oh yeah,
Anything?
I mean, after I watched the Paul Lynn and the Nugo match.
Was there anything you found in particular as like a weak point?
Oh yeah,
Anything? Is that something you want to disclose or?
I'll do it in the aftermatch interview. I'll tell you exactly, and you're gonna go, of course. I should have seen it myself.
Fair enough.
Even Susie knows.
So did you change any aspects of your training as far as
No.
factors you
I'm
focused on, or-
everybody trains for like their ultimate opponents, and mine are Petrenko and Chafee. So that's going to be a multi-year process to beat those guys. So that's what I'm
Okay.
training for.
I just spoke to Brzenk, and I even asked him, does he think he would have a better chance, or would he have the same chance facing you at a lighter weight class at 95? He said no problem. Still, he would be confident.
He would be, yeah.
Do you feel like you would be more confident facing him at 95 as opposed to a higher
No,
weight?
I think if I arm wrestled him this weekend at 95, I think the results would be the same.
Okay.
I think a few more months or so I need to work. There's a few things I got to develop and work on for that.
Gotcha. As far as your training, you're still sticking with the West Side barbell training style? How many?
We've changed it a little, just because West Side barbell. There's a lot of stuff out there on bodybuilding. There's a lot of stuff out there on powerlifting. Arm wrestling doesn't really fall into those two categories because we don't do the whole body. We're not trying to do that gain a lot of weight stuff, and powerlifting is so taxing on the nervous system that I think arm wrestlers can train more intensely than a powerlifter. There's a lot less
Central
damage in your body.
system recovery
Yeah,
and all that.
100-pound side pressure is not as hard on your body as a
That's
700-pound
super
squat
heavy for
or a 1,000-pound deadlift. So I think most arm wrestlers are not training heavy enough. So we're working on that belief right now.
For sure. Since you've, of course, pulled Michael Todd and Petrenko, I want to ask you about that main event. What is your?
Normally, I would give a heavyweight coming down a 70-30 chance. But Petrenko is one of those rare pullers. I think Petrenko would make top 5 at super heavyweight at this current weight. So I think it's 50-50. The advantage Michael Todd has is he's one of those unique arm wrestlers that you usually have to pull once, unless you're just a phenom, you usually have to pull him once or twice to figure out exactly what's that like.
Right.
You can watch all the videos you want. You can see what he does. He's not, he's a pretty open book, but until you actually feel it, it takes a few things. So I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Todd wins this match, then Oleg wins the rematch. I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Todd wins 3 and Oleg comes back and starts winning. That
would be exciting.
Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 match. I just don't think the super heavyweight's the overwhelming advantage in this match.
Gotcha. As far as Hermes versus Morizov, what are your takes on that match?
Morizov's one of my favorites, but I got a special place for Hermes. Any guy who came from the under 95 kilogram class to establish himself as one of the 3 best dudes in the world. So I'm always rooting for Hermes.
For sure. Now, you've been arm wrestling a super long time. At this point in your career, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you driven to continue to improve?
The snack bags they give us at these events are very nice. So that's pretty cool. The money's awesome. So I love the money. and it's still a hard enough sport to learn. So I got and I got two opponents I would like to beat again. So,
So it's really Dave Chafee and Oleg Petrenko are the
yeah,
main guys you want to get revenge on. Now,
not really revenge. It's more of a respect thing. So,
do you think you'll still be pulling at 70 at the highest level?
I don't know. I think 70 would be my limit. I don't think I'll pull at 70. Sooner or later, you just got to admit that you're no longer progressing up. So I think that's 10 years from now. I think 70 would be a stretch.
What is your take on John Brzenk? Obviously, he's retired recently, had the back surgery and everything. Do you think he'll be
Yes.
maybe persuaded,
Yes.
peer
I
pressure?
think John will come
Peer
back. I
pressure.
think John will come out of retirement 3 more times. So,
What do you think would be a good match? I think Devin had proposed Auden or somebody.
oh
Maybe
God, no. Um, John, you should have when John first comes back. You could almost do a whole like nostalgia tour like the county fairs do when they bring these bands back from the 70s. So you could have John and Ron Bath pull, and then you could have uh John and you could probably give John anybody in the top 10 at 105 or 95. Um, but it would have to be interesting to John. What would be cool would be um you pull out somebody like Brian Shaw, or you pull out somebody one of these new celebrity type folks.
for sure. That
Now, if Auden gets up to where Brian Shaw is and whatever it is, 10 million YouTube subscribers, then Auden would be a perfect John Brzenk match. But I think it would be somebody like that, somebody coming in, and there's enough of those super strong um that that Russian. That Russian that does
Smile.
yeah, who does like 1,500 wrist curls every day. That
If
would
they can convince him to participate, that would be fantastic.
who wouldn't want to pull John, right?
Oh, of course.
Right? I mean,
He's,
that'd be
he's the
like arm
greatest of all
wrestling
time.
Barack Obama or somebody.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Brian Shaw, so I do want to ask you, maybe would you want to have a match with him at some point, or do you think he needs maybe 5 years? What is your take on him? Obviously, his recent loss against Leonidas. What would you give some words of advice to him as far as coming back, or what he should do for a next match, or what do you have to
Everybody
say?
quits. Everybody quits at least once. Most of us quit 2 or 3 times. He'll be back. I'm not worried about that.
For sure.
Um, he just he gets so much advice. It's probably just chaos. He just hears white. He's got too many people telling him what he needs to do. And all you got to do is look at the top 3 or 4 in any weight class, and you'll see there's multiple different ways to be champion. So there isn't a way.
Right.
You
He's
know, you
gotta
can
find
be
out
you can be
what's
tall
best.
and thin, you can be short and stocky, you can be powerful, you can be fast, you can be technical, you can be and
Mhm.
so he'll work all that stuff out.
For sure. What other matches on the card are you looking forward to, would you say?
Besides Michael Todd and Oleg,
Yeah, besides that match, the Hermes match.
Arakli and Yoshi.
Yeah.
That I love both those guys, man. I would rather see those guys arm wrestle at my practice where they could like talk and work things out, but I am
Uh,
interested in that. That
who
would
do you think will win that match? Obviously,
I
both
can't
of them.
I seriously I can't
Do
tell
you
you.
think if it becomes an endurance match, Yoshi will have too much in his King's move, or
I
do you
don't
think
think we've ever tested Arakli's endurance.
his match with John Brzenk, he ended up coming back. It seemed like that was kind of
Yeah.
an endurance match. He ended up
Yeah.
somehow winning, like with
Yeah.
a flop press.
So no, that's going to be an interesting one. And Yoshi's one of those guys you might have to arm wrestle once or twice to figure out how to beat him. It's you can watch it all the time, all you want, but until you actually feel it, you go, "Oh, that's why that don't work." And you're trying to figure out a new plan on the spot, right?
Right,
You got like
right.
60 seconds to come up with something.
Do you think if he beats Aracli, him versus Michael Todd would be a good match at 105?
Yoshi and Michael Todd?
Yeah.
I think they've pulled before.
Yeah,
I
I
think that
think they
would be
have as
great.
well.
I
It's
think,
been like a long time, right? It's been like a
yeah.
decade or
I
something
like
like
all
that.
that retro stuff. It's like watching Twisted Sister in concert. Yeah. We could do a whole like retro arm wrestling thing where you pull back like
Throwback
Cobra and
matches.
Alan Fisher, have those guys arm wrestle again.
There we go.
You
There
know?
we go. I just want to ask you on like your take on how the sport has been growing and just EVW in general. What's your take on the direction the sport is going?
It's been phenomenal. I've got I'm in 2 or 3 different practice groups, and I have a practice group in Wellington that started with like 4 of us. We routinely have a couple dozen people show up now, and they're all like in their 20s, right? There's a Saturday arm wrestling group in Cleveland. They had to go to a community center. They've got like 6 or 7 tables. It's packed. They actually have rankings, and they rank people in 2 different categories, but they've got 20 some people ranked, right and left hand. So 40 rankings under 200,
In
40
each weight
rankings.
class or
Well, no, it's just
100 and
under
above?
200 and
Okay.
over because it's
Yeah, I
practice.
saw your training footage
Yeah.
there. It seemed like a pretty big practice.
And that, a year or 2 ago, that would be like 4 or 5
It
guys.
seems like a lot of younger people are
Yeah.
starting to get into the sport.
It is. There's a lot. It's exploding, and this has got to just be nothing but good news
For sure.
for it going mainstream when you got that many more people just playing at. Because I'm pretty sure amateur bowling exploded before professional bowling became a thing.
It's got to come from somewhere, right? Any final words to Bogdan before the match?
No, I like the guy. I like his YouTube content. I like his attitude. I look forward to it.
Any final words to the fans, people who support you?
Thanks, kids. I love you.
All right, that'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.